Hello, everybody. On today's episode of How Am I Going to Destroy My Kitchen? Because it was so wonderfully clean first thing this morning, I am going to show you how to make my version of protein pancakes. I just did a triple workout and I need to fuel my body with protein, not a low ton of carbs that's going to have me going in half an hour. So, very simple recipe. You just need a few ingredients, and we're going to go ahead and we are going to start making up some goodness. So, you're going to start with some Greek yogurt. You can do plain, you can do vanilla, whatever you prefer. Doesn't have to be the Walmart brand, it can be any brand that your little heart desires. But you're going to do one serving size. So, some are 3/4, some are 2/3. So, you just check your label, see what your serving size is. This one, it does happen to be 3/4. So we are going to go ahead and we're just going to pop 3/4 of a cup in here. And then your next ingredient is going to be protein powder. So I have found with this recipe, chocolate is a booger to get out of the pan. It sticks like you wouldn't believe. You're going to need a mountain of oil to keep that booger from sticking. Strawberry's not bad. Vanilla works great. So this one is strawberry. Yes, this container is huge. I scored big. This is a $100 container. I got it for 20 bucks at GNC. So I eat a lot of strawberry right now. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do a lot with strawberry. I'll have to show y'all how to do some strawberry muffins at some point. So you're going to do 2 scoops, well, 2 serving sizes, because Premier Protein is 2 scoops is 1 serving size. So 2 servings of protein powder. You're going to pop that in there. And then I use the keto wheat baking flour. You can use almond flour as well, whichever you prefer. I just got turned on to this, and this is kind of what I like to use. You're going to do 2 tablespoons of this. Whoop. Well, we got 1 tablespoon of that. Check my pantry. I knew I wouldn't let myself down. Always be prepared. Nah, I just got lucky. So another tablespoon of that, pop that in. And then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to actually show you how to do this as a pancake, and you can use the same batter as a waffle. The waffle is very tricky, and I will probably make a mess to show you what not to do. Now, the final ingredient, I use Fairlife milk. This is the Fairlife skim milk. You can use whatever milk you like. I do about 1/4 cup. Depending on the consistency, you may have to add a little more, up to 1/2 cup, but 1/4 usually does it for me. So we're going to go and scoop out the rest of this yogurt that's hanging out in this measuring cup. All right, and then you're just going to mix this into a pancake batter. So this is not going to have the exact consistency of your normal pancake. But what I want you to remember, of what you lose in consistency, you gain in nutrition. So this is absolutely packed in protein. So I just did cardio core, lower body, then upper body. So my muscles are spanked. Let me tell you what, washing my hair and trying to make this look good, it was an ordeal. So my muscles right now are like, lady, we need something. And protein's where it's at. So this is absolutely packed in protein. There's our batter. So we are going to get everything set with our waffle iron and our pan, and we're going to start cooking. Okay, so we have our pan on low heat, well, medium low heat. I got the waffle iron on low. With protein waffles, I have found low and slow is where it's at. This whole thing was literally covered in waffle batter one day because my waffle iron literally exploded. It was a nightmare. It was a mess to clean up. So low and slow is where it's at. So, make sure you kind of have the cup of coffee ready, because it's going to take a little bit. Now, Side note, everyday dose mushroom coffee is amazing. I started drinking this and it's so good. It's a quick, instant, fast coffee. So anyway, that was a side note there. This stuff's really good. So we're going to soothe the parched throat. Now, what we're going to do is I use coconut oil spray. You can use avocado. You can use olive oil. I just like that little coconutty taste that this kind of, adds to it. So we're going to spray our pan and we are going to go with a half a cup measuring because that way, if you're measuring in macros, you got a way to know how many servings you got. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to set that down in the pan there. We're going to do 2 pancakes here, and I'm going to actually turn this up to more of a medium heat. But again, with this stuff, low and slow is where it's at. All right. Okay, so we're going to go over same thing with the waffle iron. We are going to go ahead and we're just going to spray it because protein stuff sticks. So we're going to spray this really good. Now, the waffle iron I have has some sort of weird locking mechanism, which usually gets me in trouble and why stuff ends up exploding. So what we're going to do is, again, another half a cup. So serving size, you know where you're at. We're going to plop that right down in the middle. Now, the trick with this, because mine has this locking mechanism on it that's really weird, and I can't figure out how to not use it. So if y'all know how to do that, let me know. Just kind of have to let it set. And you just have to either prop something up underneath it to release the lock or just keep a really close eye on it because let me tell you, she'll explode. So we got our pancakes working here. Try to turn this light back on. I know it's kind of, we got our pancakes working there. So same concept as when you're making normal pancakes. You're going to look for your bubble. Once it bubbles up, you're ready to flip flop it. But I do normally just keep it on medium heat because if you just cook it too fast, it's just going to be all sorts of a mess. So see what I mean? Do you see that coming out right here? So you just got to kind of hold this up and let it calm itself down. Let it settle because right now we're having a temper tantrum in the waffle iron. She's really talking today. She is not a happy waffle batter, let me tell you what. So I normally do just stick with pancakes because they're easier. I don't like to have to sit here and babysit a waffle iron. I got things to do. And honestly, it is a horrible mess to clean up when you're done. So yeah, I guess I just get to stand here and hold this for a moment. Okay, we're going to let the waffle iron think about things. Something tells me y'all are going to get a really good chuckle when you see what comes out of the waffle iron. The good thing we got pancakes because bacon, eggs, pancakes with my coffee for my brunch today sounds fantastic. So, pancakes, maple syrup usually go with pancakes, right? Let me tell you a hack. Take your Greek yogurt. I go with vanilla just because it's a little sweeter. That is your topping. Get some blueberries, warm them up a little bit, put those on top, and you will never miss your maple syrup. If you want to amp up the protein even more, throw a little protein powder in your yogurt, but it's not necessary. You can just literally just smear it right on top, throw your berries on top, and you have a good high protein breakfast. So we're starting to bubble a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip these over. I missed. But look at that. Look at that awesomeness. So we're just going to let these finish cooking here. And let's take a peek at what the waffle looks like. Oh yeah, y'all are going to get a kick out of this. I have a hollow waffle. Some days they work, some days they don't. Maybe at some point we'll get a recipe where my waffle works. Today is not going to be that day. I mean, it didn't like completely spill out everywhere like normal, so that's good. but today is definitely not that day for waffles. So let me grab my plate down here. And we're just going to let these pancakes finish cooking here. So they will get like really big and poofy, and you're going to be like, ooh, those are going to be awesome pancakes. Unfortunately, they deflate. But trust me when I say they might not be your typical really fluffy pancake, but the nutritional value you get out of these are absolutely worth the slimmer. Not quite a crepe, not quite a pancake, but nutritional value completely worth it. Okay, here's our waffle. It didn't work. Like I said, you win some, you lose some. But you never know. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe it just didn't like my protein powder. Because I have found protein powders make all the difference when you're doing some of this stuff. Some of them work fantastic, and others you just cannot cook with. I mean, it's peeling off. So we have a crunchy topping, but it is, oops, completely hollow. There's just no waffle. It's a very crunchy top. You can probably just kind of crumble it up and put it on top of our pancake, right? So this was our fail of our waffle. Thank you for joining me for this portion of what not to do in your waffle iron. And our pancakes are about done here, so we're going to pull these off. Clean that mess up in a moment. So, pancakes. This is what we're looking at. Probably could have turned it down a little bit. So you have high protein pancakes, and all you're going to do is you're going to take this ooey gooey goodness. You're going to take your pancake there. You're going to take your vanilla Greek yogurt. Maybe it'll come out of there. We're winning today. Well, this is mine, so I guess I can use my fingers, right? And then we're going to take some blueberries. We're going to put our blueberries right on top there. So this, in addition to our eggs and bacon, is going to be my brunch for the day with some seriously high protein. Hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know if you have any questions. And now I'm going to go clean up what I destroyed in my kitchen.